All right. Hopefully the microphone's working, or I'm going to spend this drive home talking to myself. It's Monday, March 18th. It was first day of second week of CDL school here at LCCC. I am heading home. We're supposed to drive tonight. We got this quality on this video is probably going to suck, but one of the instructors couldn't make it, so we did practice in our pre-trip and uncoupling and coupling the trailer. I just wanted to give a little, God damn, sun. Little recap of what this journey's been like so far, and I figure right now while I'm driving home, I got about a half an hour to try and get this in, because working full time, going to school at night and on Saturdays, it's a little tiring, especially since I got a cake job where I basically sit down all day. But so anyway, this whole process started months ago. Watching YouTube, I had quit watching network TV a long time ago, just totally uninterested in it. But anyway, watching YouTube, came across a video of a truck driver. Trucking with Schmidt is his channel. I watched it. I was like, well, it's kind of interesting. And I watched a couple more of his videos. And I was like, well, heck, that wouldn't be too bad. But and then on YouTube, they send you all kinds of recommendations and stuff. So I started watching other videos of truck drivers and stuff. And I'm at the point where at my job, I can't go anywhere. I've been there a little over 18 years. My boss is the engineer. His boss is the owner of the company. So I'm not going up anywhere. I'm about maxed out on salary. And I don't know if any of y'all have noticed it, but there's been a little bit of inflation lately. So, things have been getting a little tight. And I started looking into driving a truck. Watched a lot of videos, did a lot of research online, and boy, that's on. Hopefully, I'll get up here and be turned heading east, and hopefully the video will be a little bit better quality. But I started, I was looking at the companies that train you, for free, and it's not free. It's you sign up with them, you go through the whole process, and then you're basically signing a contract to drive for them for a year or 2 years or whatever it is. And they may take so much per month. Ooh, that got really bad there. Video. So much off of your bill per month or whatever. And some of them, if you don't fulfill the contract, you owe the whole amount. And I thought, well, to do that, I have to quit my job. I have to go to wherever that, they do their training at, the Salt Lake City, Missouri, Iowa, wherever. And, do that. And then you're locked in really with that company, for that year or 2 years. And you may get there, and after a couple months, you may think, man, I can't stand it here, So I as a backup plan, it would work, I guess. But I saw that the community college here, LCCC, they had a CDL school. They had started up, I don't know, 3 years ago, I think it was. And so I kept going back and forth, should I do it? Should I just stay where I'm at, stay comfortable? Well, I was at work one day, and didn't have a whole lot going on, and I'd gotten online. I was looking over my shoulder, make sure the boss wasn't looking at the college's website, and then it had for more information. So I filled it out, and it was like the next day, I believe, I had gotten an email from the course coordinator, Mike, and it had all the attachments for all the stuff that needed to be filled out, all the information and everything. So I looked at everything. I was still looking, watching videos, trying to decide, is this really, because, at my age, I'm not a spring chicken. Switching careers into something you've never done before at all. I've driven trucks, not bigger trucks. I've driven like the Deuce and a Half and stuff, but that was years ago. But I had some questions, and so I actually sat down. I filled everything out, all the paperwork necessary, and I did not sign or date anything. And since we got these new hours, been about a year now, I think, but get off at 12:30 on Fridays, so I left work and went into the college and talked with the Darlene, Mike's assistant. I asked my questions. She answered them, and I said, okay, everything sounds good. Now, I have high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. I didn't know if I could pass the DOT medical. So I told her, I said, well, I'm going to spend the money and get the physical and the drug test done because it's cheaper to spend that and find out that, I wouldn't pass than to just sign up at a school and then, for some reason I don't pass, but yet I still got to pay for the class. And she was like, it's no problem. If you want, you can sign that stuff. I'll enter it in or scan it in, but nothing will happen until you come in and actually give us your medical card. So if you don't pass it, you don't even have to come back. Nothing. And I was like, okay, so I made the appointment, and well, actually, it really wasn't an appointment. It was unfortunately the day of my sister-in-law's service. So before we went to Denver, I went in to have that done. I passed. Normally, if you're healthy in that, you get a 2-year medical card. I got a 1-year because of the hypertension. Got the diabetes now with the Mounjaro under control, which is also helping me lose weight, thank God, because I really needed to do that. But so that following Friday, I stopped at the DMV and got a copy of my 10-year driving record, which was clean, which anybody that knew me when I was younger would be totally amazed at that. But got it in and got scheduled for the online portion, the new entry-level driver training that has to be done. So from the time I got the information to the time I actually signed up for the class was a month. There was no rushing this. Oh, excuse me. And so I got started on that. Of course, I'm trying to do, you've got 30 days, and it takes roughly 20 hours to go through all the little modules. You got to watch the videos and then take some tests. At the end of them, you have to pass with 80%. If you don't pass, you can just go back. You can take it as many times as you want until you pass. It only records the highest score you get. It's really simple. It's through J.J. Keller. You watch the videos. There were a couple times I went back and I passed every test on the first try, but there was 3 or 4 of them because there's I don't remember how many, is like 50 different tests or something. There were several. I didn't get 100. I wasn't happy with that, so I went back and I took it till and I only had to take it one. There was one that kept throwing me off. I had to take that, I think, 3 times before I got the 100%. But I wanted the record to show that I passed every test with 100% because that's just me. But so as soon as I finished with the last one, I got the notification from the instructor that they got the notification that I passed it and would be scheduling the behind the wheel. Well, that took, I don't know, it was a week and a half, 2 weeks or something like that. One of the instructors was on vacation, but so last Saturday, which was, let's see, today's the 18th, 15th, it was the 8th of March, I think, 9th of March. First day of class, because the hours for the class are Monday through Friday, 5 to 9, and Saturdays, 8 to 5. So that first day, I made some notes, wrote them down so I could remember what was going on, and I'm probably going to have to change my glasses so I can read it. And I'm going to have to, so let me get that done. Yeah, okay. The sunglasses don't have the bifocals that really help me a lot. So yeah, it was 12/4 that I received the info from the college. January 5th, where I submitted the paperwork to start. The 12th was my physical and my drug test. And the 19th of January, I got my motor vehicle. Okay, so it was the week after that. And I started the ELD training. Finished the ELD training on February 1st, so I did get through it pretty quick. I think the total amount I spent on it was just about 17, 18 hours. They say it'll probably take an average 20. I'm above average, but we all know that. But so then after you finish that on the 3rd of February, they send you a link to a website, and it's a practice test for the test to get your CLP, your commercial learner's permit, because you cannot start the class behind the wheel training without that. So yeah, I was a little bit off on what was happening. That's why I made these notes, and I still got to pay attention to where I'm going. But I started the practice test, and I would do several every night, because for each thing, because you have the general knowledge, which is the largest test. There is the air brake test, the combination vehicle test, and I am going to get all the endorsements, hazmat, tanker, and doubles and triples. The only one that does you any good on your permit is the tanker, because you need the tanker endorsement to drive with a tanker trailer. It has to be empty when you're driving under your permit, but you still have to have that endorsement. So I got that. I went in, I took the tests, I got right through it. It wasn't 100%. You have to get 80%. So like on the general knowledge, there was 50 questions, so you had to get 40 right. And the way the test is set up, you're sitting there at the computer, and you can skip questions. If you're not 100% sure, skip the question, go to the next one. And what happens is they move to the end of the test. And so once you hit 40 correct questions, the test stops. So if you skip, say, 3 or 4, but then you get all the rest of them up to that point, and you get 40 of them right, well, there's still, 6 or 7 questions you never even saw. So you don't, once you hit the correct amount, that was it. The test ended. So I got those. I got my permit, took that in, and that's when I got scheduled for behind the wheel training. Took about a week and a half. And so let me check here. Started the practice test. I was comfortable with them on the 15th, so it was almost 2 weeks doing those practice tests. Because I did not want to go in there. You can take the test because they give you a voucher to pay for it. That's part of the cost of the school. You can take the test twice a day. And you can take it every day until you pass it. You don't have to keep paying every time. But I wanted to get in there, get it done. Again, that's just me. I don't want to mess around. I want to, so I wasn't going to go in there until I was comfortable. But I passed it. The guy at the DMV that was issuing the test, he was cool as hell. I don't know his name, but he was cool as hell. So on the 16th, I went in and tested. I actually missed 3 of the questions on the general knowledge. The rest of them, I got them. I skipped some questions, but I did not miss any. On the 20th is when I got the deal about the behind the wheel training. On 23rd, I was emailed that it would start on the 9th of March. So that Saturday, I went in. Jake, the instructor, he's kind of Mike's number 2. He's the second. That thing's bouncing all over. Full-time employee. All the instructors, other instructors, and there's, I don't know, 10 or 12 between Cheyenne and Laramie. They're part-time. They actually have jobs, and they do this on a part-time basis. 3 of them are, 3, maybe 4, are state licensed testers. So when you get through with the course and are ready to test, they test you right there. Same truck you've been learning in, the same course and everything. It's just the person who instructed you cannot be the one who tests you. But yeah, went in there. Jake, really great guy. It was pretty much an orientation kind of day, as he called it, death by PowerPoint. And we sat through videos and PowerPoints and that. Towards the end of the day, we got on the simulator to practice, because another one of the reasons I liked the college, the manual transmission. So there's no restriction that you're limited to an automatic transmission, because you never know what kind of a job you might find out there. And that's why I want all the endorsements, so that way whatever I find, I can say, yes, I'm able to do that. Because I do not have a job lined up. This is, kind of, I don't know, playing it by ear or whatever. But so we did that. We practiced the shifting on there, and then we spent a few minutes just backing up, nothing major. And he let us go about 4 o'clock, a little bit early. Monday night was the first time really doing. We were in the classroom. Instructor Jeff, another great guy. What did we do? We did the simulator. We went over some pre-trip stuff. I went over shifting. Watched some videos on the shifting and pre-trip. That pre-trip, that's a killer. I'm going to struggle with that one. But we were there for about 3 hours Monday night. Tuesday night, the other instructor, Oscar, another great guy. He's got an accent. He's originally from Puerto Rico. But he, and if you don't understand what he's saying, he's great about, clarifying, help, because English is his second language. But, he worked through it. So we did the simulator, backing up on that. Watched some backing videos and some pre-trip. Went over pre-trip and brakes. And then on Wednesday, the 12th, we were supposed to have Jeff again. He sent a text saying he was sorry, but he had to cancel the class. He had something come up. So Wednesday, I was able to just go right home after work because I get off work Monday through Thursday at 4:30. I got to be to college at 5. Luckily, it doesn't take any more than 15 minutes to get there, but yeah, there's no time for anything in between. So then on Thursday, we had Oscar again, and we were there from about 5 to 8 because yeah, the weather was not good. And I've got a almost 30-mile drive home. He's got quite a drive home, so we went over. Let's see, we watched defensive driving videos. Went over the how the air brake system works and the air brake test that you'll have to do. And so we got out of there. Oh, it was about 8 o'clock. So Fridays is Jeff. He started where we actually were at the truck to do the pre-trip. So he went over it and he said Fridays are usually a pretty easy day. We practiced the pre-trip for a while. So we got out of there at 7:15 on Friday. And then that Saturday, last Saturday, the 16th, we were supposed to have Oscar and another driver, our instructor there, and we were going to split up because there's just me and another guy, Alex, cool guy. He's a young kid, never driven a manual before, so he's got an extra hurdle to try and clear. But we were going to split up and take 2 trucks out to the South Business Parkway where there's very little traffic and there's room to learn how to drive these. But since it was just Oscar, we took the one truck. Oscar drove it out there. Well, first, actually, we drove around the campus a little bit. We spent a little time just learning how the truck worked. Which was good. Campus, you're almost no traffic, especially on a Saturday. But it's kind of hard to learn too much because it's a limited area, and you go 100 feet and there's a stop sign, then you go another 100 feet and there's a stop sign. So, but anyways, we ended up out at the South Parkway, Business Parkway out there, and Alex started driving, and again, he learning the manual, learning how to drive a big truck. He was having some issues, which totally understandable. I remember when I tried to learn how to drive a stick. It wasn't pretty. But he made several loops. It takes several minutes. I mean, it's a big loop around there. And we broke for lunch. Oscar drove us over to the truck stop, to the McDonald's there. And went in, had lunch, and went back, got back out there. It was my turn to drive. So I made about 4 loops, learning what to do, what not to do. And after the 4th loop, he said, okay, let's try some roundabouts. And I was like, what? Because I'm still, trying to figure out this big truck with a 48-foot flatbed on the back of it. So we went over to the one turn we made where we would turn left on that loop. If you turn right, boom, there's a roundabout to get onto the interstate, I-25, where you can go across, and there's the visitor center. So I went through there 3 times. 3rd time, I made it all the way through without the rear wheel of the trailer riding up on the curb of the roundabout, which it's not really a curb, it's a platform which is designed that way for trucks going through there, and bounces and more bounces and some more bounces. This phone holder is kind of handy, but it's not really stable. But I hadn't planned on making videos with it either. But so I didn't touch it. That last one, I got that close. And he said, "Okay, let's see how you do with cars in front of you." And I'm like, "You're mean. You're brave, but you're mean." It's Saturday. It's Cheyenne. It's not a big town for, especially for, a lot of my family that, grew up in the Chicago area, which I drove around there, but not in a truck like that. But so, anyways, we go take this loop around town. Got to go through some construction. Go up, over, down, and then going down Dale Range on a Saturday, about 1:30. Yeah, that's where the mistake happened. I did not hit anything or anybody. Learning the stopping distance of the truck and all of that, I did go through a red light. I guess maybe you could say it was pink, but I'm sure the cops, if they'd seen it, would have called it red. But my first thought was, okay, he's going to tell me, pull over, you're done, you're out of the class. But that didn't happen. Of course, I've been beating myself up about it over all weekend because I am not supposed to do things like that. I'm better than that. But anyway, we got through, went down, went through some more construction, had to turn, had to take turning left through the construction. And he's like, "Oh, you're going to hit that barrel, you're going to hit that barrel." And so I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, "No, I ain't." I had to take the shoulder a little bit, but I did not hit the barrel. Then we went down, got on Interstate 80, took that over to Interstate 25, back to the loop. We got back there and he said, "Let's let Alex drive now." And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's a good idea." It's been, it was almost 2.5 hours, I think, that I've been driving. I was extremely tense. I was like, before we do anything, once I stop, I need to get out and I just need to take a minute. And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." So that was how the first week of CDL school went. I will say by the end of the day, Alex was doing much better on driving the truck, so kudos to him. Tonight, might as well throw this in. We were going to drive some more. We were going to split up. Again, another instructor wasn't able to come in, so it was just Jeff. He was also working with a woman who's getting her license. He was helping her. She tests tomorrow. So she was practicing her pre-trip and stuff. So we just worked on pre-trip, and then we worked on coupling and uncoupling the trailers. And it was an hour and a half. We were there tonight. Tomorrow we'll probably be doing some driving. So, but that is how first week has gone. I should say that this class is not costing me anything yet. Part of the deal is the state. The college worked with the state. The state set up a grant to get Wyoming residents trained for truck driving jobs in Wyoming. So once you test out and get your CDL, you have 90 days to find a job with a Wyoming company. Now, it does not have to be Wyoming-based. It could be a large trucking company as long as they operate a terminal in the state of Wyoming. So there is that. If I do not find a job within that 90 days, it's $5,100. Which, from what I've seen, right now is not that bad for the cost of getting, going through the class. I've seen some of these larger carriers where they give the class, and if you don't fulfill your end of the bargain, it's $7,500, $8,500. I've seen up to $10,000 for some of these CDL schools. So, but even though the trucking industry is down a bit, down quite a bit right now, it is still going to pay better than what I'm making now by at minimum 25%. So that is ultimately what led me to make this decision. So once I remember how to make a YouTube channel, I'm gonna, because I do have the R&R garage where Dad and I were still, when we can, getting out in the shop and doing stuff. I've got a whole bunch of videos on this truck here, the GMC, that I recorded all this stuff that we did on it, and for some reason it got downloaded to the computer and I moved it to a folder and forgot about it. So there's a bunch of videos there that I need to edit and get posted. But yeah, so we're going to keep you updated on how this whole thing goes and see if I can actually accomplish this. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time.